So I'm on my way to work right now, and I've recently gotten on this social media thing and trying to do stuff online and provide content that I hope is valuable to people. And as I've been doing it, I've been kind of wondering, what is my purpose with this? What is my goal with this? And I had a idea setting out to help people get healthier and get fitter, but I wanted to define it a little better than that. And having been a coach, personal trainer for a long time and now a business owner for over 20 years as a coach, I think the main thing I come across is people really don't like their body. Hate might be a strong word, but I'm sure a lot of people hate their body as well. And not just aesthetically, like some people hate the way they look. That's certainly part of it. Some people hate the way they feel. Some people hate that they have no energy. Some people hate that they can't do things physically that they used to do. You hear a lot of people say, back when I was in high school, I used to do this, or back when I was in college, I could do this, and I can't do it anymore. And there are a lot of reasons for that, but my objective with this channel or with this content or whatever you want to call it is try to help people really learn to love their bodies again. And it can be in any of those frames, but try to either inspire or educate or motivate people to take steps to do things that are going to improve the way they feel about their body and bring back what it's capable of and make it feel better. And in line with that, there are a couple things that I think are the most critical. Number one being sleep. So many people sacrifice their sleep. They're on a lot of stimulants. Hey, I'm pro coffee, pro caffeine, not against that, but you stimulate. And by the time you need to calm down and go to bed, your system's so wired up, you have a hard time getting any quality sleep. There's good trackers out there. There's things that go on your mattress. There's watches you can wear. There are different things that'll help you track your sleep and see whether or not you're doing it well. Some of that can be intuitive as well, but I think people really need to reevaluate their sleep patterns and realizing that plays such a huge role in how you feel, how strong your brain works, how quick your brain functions, how much energy you have. Obviously, I think we can all relate to that. If you don't sleep well, you don't have a lot of energy the next day. And sort of go back to square one before you worry about fitness, before you worry about nutrition, before you worry about all these other things that, to be frank, is my direct line of work and how I help people, is going back to your sleep. Putting that as priority number one. I've got a good friend and former client who is on Whoop, and he's a big tracker of his sleep. And he really sees the value wearing that device and noticing when he sleeps and really being able to look at that data and frame how that day goes for himself and recognizing that when he sleeps better, he performs better, he feels better, he functions better, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be number one. If you want to learn to love your body again or get it back to doing the things that you want it to be able to do or that it used to do, I would prioritize sleep as your number one thing to do. After that, I would prioritize nutrition over fitness, even as a coach, right? And I obviously take my fitness very, very seriously. Here it is 4 a.m. I'm going to work and I'm riding my bike. Obviously, that's something that's very valuable to me and I believe in strongly. But, if you're sleeping like crap and you're eating like crap, you're not going to recover from your fitness well. You're not going to get the results that you're looking for. You're not going to be able to perform the way that you need to be able to do to make consistent progress. So nutrition would be priority number two. And I've said it a million times, and I'll probably put it on my gravestone when I die: meats, nuts, fruits, veggies. That should be the cornerstone of every healthy diet. And if you notice, there is no processed stuff in there. And by no means am I perfect in this regard. I eat processed food from time to time, usually as a snack or a treat. But if you can make 80-90% of the food that you consume meat, nuts, fruits, veggies, right? Stuff that comes from the earth, comes from the ground, or comes from an animal, and that's it, you're going to feel so much better. I promise. If you do it for 4 to 6 weeks, and that's what made that Whole30 diet so popular, is because that's how they operate. And it's true. Our bodies are meant to consume things that exist in nature. They're not meant to consume things that exist in a laboratory. That's just the bottom line. And, there are social benefits to processed food and different things. And cheap calories. Like, I'm not denying that, but from a health standpoint, this stuff is just not good for you, just flat out. So if you want to feel better, you want to have more energy, you want your muscles to feel more capable, you want your joints to hurt less. I know a lot of people wake up with aches and pains every day, and there's a lot of that has to do with their food and their sleep. So if you can really concentrate on eating nothing or 80-90% meat, fruit, nuts, and veggies, and just prioritize making that a big part of your diet, it's going to make a huge difference. And imagine if you were sleeping 6 to 9 hours a night, good quality sleep, and you're eating healthy foods that come from the earth in some way, and that's it. Like, you're going to feel so much better and operate so much better, and you're going to have so much more energy. I promise. I'm not trying to this stuff is intuitive. I think if you're honest with yourself, you know these things to be true. It's just life gets in the way, convenience gets in the way, desire to go out and do social things and stay up and watch things, and gets in the way of that. But if you can prioritize these two, the difference that you will make and how you feel and how you function and how your body operates will be significant. And then the third thing is my primary department, which is fitness. And I sort of coincide fitness and health, but it's just one aspect of it. And fitness can be a few things. I would put it in strength. And, there are different views, different ways to define strength, but being able to move weight or move tools in a way physically that you need to every day without fatigue, without injury. So if all you do is go to work and go home, and you don't do anything physically active and you don't want to, then I guess you're good, right? You don't need to worry about it. But if you want to go hike, or you want to go swim, or you want to play sports, you want to play a pickup basketball game or pickleball. I love pickleball. If you want to go play that on the weekends, but you don't have the strength or the physical capacity to do that, or when you do, you get hurt, or it takes so much out of you that it's hard to recover, then you need to train your strength and your fitness to be able to do that. So when it comes to fitness, and this is something I would say in a first session with someone, is what do you want to be capable of physically? Because ultimately that's going to determine how you train and what you do and why you do it. And it could be aesthetics too, if you just want to look better. And by all means, that's how most of us get here in the first place, is by prioritizing our physique. But as you get older, I think that changes a little bit. You care a lot more about function over form. And hey, if you're lucky, you get both, right? Which is sort of how I try to live. I want to be able to not only look good so I can, quote unquote, prove to others that I know what I'm doing, but also vanity, right? That's definitely a part of it. But I want my body to be able to do a lot of cool stuff and play the sports and do the things and do the movements that I want to be able to do and get up and on off the ground and all that stuff. So when it comes to fitness, first think about why or what you want to be capable of physically. And then you can build around that. And that'll help you adhere to it a little better. Because instead of just saying, I want to go lose 5 pounds because somebody told me I needed to, that's not very helpful. That's not very actionable. But if you think about, I want to, be able to play soccer with my kids, in 5 years, like say you have a 2-year-old and you're like, man, when they get 7, 8, 9, I want to be able to go in the backyard and play soccer with them and do stuff physically, throw the football, throw the baseball, play around with the kids and not get hurt, not feel fatigued, not let them down because I'm too tired or I can't do it or I don't feel good. I think, I don't have children myself, but I think they can be a very good pull towards improving your behavior, and trying to improve yourself so you can display good things for your children so they grow up to be better and healthier. So going back to what I said at the start, prioritizing sleep, number 1, prioritizing nutrition, number 2, and then prioritizing fitness, number 3. And, I'll get into these buckets more detailed as I go, but just think about things like that and think about doing things that'll make you learn to love your body again.